Everybody, and today I want to go over a lesson on triads. Hopefully the background lawnmowers in the neighborhood aren't too noisy. It's the only place I can do my lessons right now is outside. So the easy way that I conceptualize triads, so I know them on the fretboard, pretty easy. Let's get into it. So triad shapes, let's hopefully you just know what triads are. The simplest chord, root 3/5. You need a root, you need a third, you need a fifth. The root and the fifth are kind of like a shell, and the third creates the major or minor, the happy or sad, major third, happy, minor third, serious, sad chord. So that being said, here let's hear it. Sad chord, happy chord. This is primarily about major triads. However, once you know the majors, it's pretty easy from there to just kind of understand the minors without having to think about it. So we'll gloss over the minors a little bit. But let's go over major triads. And one benefit of this lesson is also that when you learn the triads, which is a very easy pattern I'm going to show you, it's not hard at all. You should start there, because then from the triads, like I said, you can get to minor triads really easy. You can expand into the cage shaped very easy without having to memorize a whole new thing for caged, because it's the same thing. And then you can expand from caged into pentatonics, expand from pentatonics into regular scales, complete major scales. And it makes it easy. So that is kind of the key here. So let's go. Triads. Now, here's another interesting thing about triads. Try three, there's three notes in a triad. Well, guess what? There's also three individual shapes that you have to know, and there's only three. And then you combine those shapes to get multiple chord progressions, but all you need to know are three. And at the end of the lesson as well, let's go over a chord progression that I'll show you that's very musical. Let's play it right now. You're the best. For you new people, hang on for the ride. This should be pretty meaningful for you. So let's get to our fret diagram here. And number one, if I need a triad, I need to know what chord I need. Do I need G sharp? Do I need D? Do I need E? So I need to find them quick on the fretboard. So this is how I do it. So first, let's pick a note. And for this example, to use the center of our fretboard, we're going to use the note G, and here's why. Where's the G on the fretboard? Well, we've got an open G string, so that informs us that our G is right here. But there's another reason for that too. For any triad, I'm going to use, well, not necessarily, because now that I know the bigger picture, I don't actually have to do this. Like, for example, if someone said you need an A triad, I could actually use this shape here, which we're going to go, you'll see in a little bit, but you could probably see it on my fretboard here, that angular shape, 7th fret, 6 and 5 going down the strings. And that would tell me that's an A major because it's part of this bigger chord. So if I can find a bar chord on the 6th string, because like there's more than one way to be able to know this information quick. And when you get all this stuff under your fingers, all of a sudden, like, it gets way easier, because you now know all these different ways that you never knew before on how to find this. But I'm going to show you one way, but that's not. This is another way you could do it. You just know the bar chord. There's G, so my G triad is here, one of them. A sharp, right? D flat. Just by knowing the bar chord, easy. But then I don't know where the other two are. So here's how you can know all three of your triad shapes up and down the fretboard, because they'll link into pentatonic boxes and scale shapes. Anyways, So a way to get these three shapes really quick is to organize the shapes and use this G string here as your note choice. So if I need um, A flat, I'm going to go G, A flat, right? That's the next one up from G. If I need, let's see, I mean, I could just go to A, B, right? G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So if I needed F sharp, I'd be here on the 11th fret, and so on and so forth. So D would be up here at the 7th fret. And if you haven't memorized your G string, you could even use your A string, which you might know really quick. A, B, C, D, E. So if I got an E, just do the octave shape. There's my E triad that I need. There's the note I need on that string to form the first triads. And so we're going to use G here at the 12th fret. So here's all I need to know. Well, let's mark that one green. So I got to get a green color here. Of course, we got yellow. Let's do green for our root notes. And then we're going to use yellowish for the other notes. So let me get coordinated here. All right. And there my for some reason my cursor's being really jumpy here today. I don't know why, but anyways, so right there. Once I find that note, this is the shape, and this is why I chose this shape, because the root note is right in the middle, and it's the easiest shape of them all to know. Not that they're all hard, but this is the easiest one. Straight up and down, as shown on the fretboard, or right here with my finger. You know, you can play it like that, kind of tight. I like to play with my first finger here so I can grab this other shape. You've learned that in a lot of songs, and that is one of the shapes that we need to know today, actually. So there's a reason that that sounds good. Anyways, so now I need I need two more shapes to get my three triad shapes across the neck. Totally not hard. All you need to know is let's call this the wall. What shape is on this side of the wall, the right side of the wall? What shape is on the left side of the wall, or the neck side of the wall, the body side of the wall, the neck side of the wall, whatever you want to call it. So that being said, let's go. Real easy here. I'm going to, well, without any further ado, we're making it too special. Whoa, here, something crazy happened. All right. We're going to go there. I'm going to go there. And, oops, we messed that up. Let's hit undo on that one. Whoa, this. Okay. So, I need to go back. Because remember, we want our roots to be green for the information. You can make, I could make two different colors, or one color for each. That if you do your own graph, you can do that. Whoops, we want that to be a green. Let's make this that same green. That other green was just ugly. All right, so now, sorry people, getting my coordinations down here. All right, make that yellow please, and then over here and over here yellow. Why is this happening? Good grief, Charlie Brown. All right, so there's my other shape. On this side, I've got this shape. Now let's say I'm just looking at my fretboard. I don't have a diagram in front of me, and I haven't fully memorized where exactly these shapes are, or I just happen to be picking one way over on a different part of the fretboard, and I need that other shape. Use your octave. Right here is an octave. This yellow where the plus is to this yellow where the plus is an octave. So if I just take my top note of any triad shape, take the top note and link it to the bottom note of the other one by skipping 2 frets. You can hear that's the octave. Okay? That informs me of hit a minor third in there. That's what this was. Now a minor third kind of screws up the chord, you know, suddenly suggesting it's minor, but you can do that stuff when you are informing a listener's ear it's an old blues trick if you kind of heard that. And you're like, oh my God, I've heard that before. Now I know the mechanics of it and how so simply how that's happened. Minor third to major third. And you've probably heard that in a lesson before. Like me, we're like, oh, kind of K. I think maybe I'll use that someday. But it's nice if someone can put that under your fingers right away. Okay, so now the inverse is true. If I need to know where my shape is on this side, I've got to go back an octave. So that just simply demands that this right here is the next note that we'll need in the chord. And yeah, okay. So we're gonna go like this, and we need a root too. So where's our root? Now let's take a look at the roots here. We got a root in the middle, a root in the top. So on our third shape, where do you think the root would be? We've got top, we've got middle, we're only missing, if you guess bottom, you're awesome, because that's where our root is. So here we go, let's get our yellow there. And this is its own little funky shape, but it's a good shape. And here. Now to me, when I first started learning this, I told myself, okay, like this is the slide, because it looks like, you know, it's angular. This one here, I'm pointing at the screen again. This one here is angular like a slide. This one here is, you know, straight up and down like a ladder. And this one is like an upside down D minor chord. So remember that open D minor chord that you learned here? Well, if you kind of like invert it, make it upside down, you're playing that up here, but that's kind of a complex, long-winded way of learning that. So I think of this as what we're going to get into next with the larger shapes, the cage shapes. This is part of the C major chord actually, and D minor and C major shape kind of go together on the fretboard. Well, not really. D major is more part of that chord. D major shape at the bottom. Okay, so that being said, where is our root? We said it was on the bottom, so yes, that is our root note right there. So that should be a G note right there. Whoa, this pick is not wanting to get picked up. Let's put it there and grab our other pick. Look at that. This note here is a G. This note here is a G, and this note here is our other G. And another G. G. Oh boy, I'll see myself out in a little bit. So just out of curiosity's sake, or for kind of giggles here, let's put another root right there, because hey, there's a root right there, and that kind of creates our C chord shape, our open C chord shape. And this is, you can see here, if you consider this with this, it's a power chord shape. And now you kind of realize too that this is like a linking root right here. This root right here can also be and you got what, another root down here. Rooty root, root tootin' root. So cool. So now we're like, you've seen these small shapes, and now we're building those up. And let's put some interval note. We could put note names in there too, but I tend not to go with note names. I mean, it's helpful to know GBD, right, is what we're dealing with here. But you should kind of know that G, A, B, C, D is a G triad. C, D, E, F, G is a C major triad. A, C, E sharp for major, E major triad. And so on, and no, A, C, E, whatever. It doesn't matter because A, C, E is A minor, but okay. ah, um, just looking at something here that is, oh, C sharp is the third, and A, C is that's the third. All right. So, anyways, A, C sharp E is what I meant to say. And that's why I don't go for note names, because it's still a thought process. It's cool to know. It can help you in certain ways, but to me, this is what I deal with much more frequently, and that is, let me get to see if we can do this here. So I got, now, okay, we know the green is a 1, so let's put 1 for our triad. Our root is our 1, or 1, 3, 5. Whoa, that's an 11. No, it's a 1. And 1. Everything's on a little delay here for some reason. Now, I need to know the other intervals really quick. Well, there's some rules involved with these intervals. 5 is always on this side of 1. You can say it's below, but it's kind of, it's above if you're looking at your fretboard. So, but it's below on this chart. So I call it above. Anyways, but I don't want to say that because you might do it differently. So just put the 5 is always on this side of the 1. And why did it do it on that side? Oh, that's why. Okay. And 3 is always on that side. So, okay. So now here this one is an easy one. This is always 1, 3, 5. That shape is your easiest right there, by the way. This one right here is your easiest. And even let's go here and identify a root. But you know what? I'm not going to put the number in there because I just want those roots to be understood, but I want you to concentrate on these intervals and stuff right here. So if a 5 is always above a 1, that's a 5. It stands to the reason that that's going to be a 3, and there's our octave link up right there, also confirming that should be a third, right? The third of the chord, the B, G, B, D, right? The major third, by the way, since these are all, and that's important because if you want a minor, then all we have to do is, well, we're going to show you that in a second. I don't know, I'll show you right now. It's pretty easy because we're talking about the third. So right here, let's give that its own little color, baby. All right, so yeah, so like I'll put a lighter shade of pale, wider shade of pale. Alright, so my third. These are the colors of your life. That's where I'm going to change this into, if I need a minor chord, oh, it's G minor. Here it go minor. Now I'm playing this chord right here, the flat third, right? Or if this one makes that A minor shape, just like it made an A major shape. You're like, oh yeah, of course. The major shape, the minor shape, G minor, right? Want to take G major. We already went over that one when we went. And hopefully at this point you can see these larger shapes, right? You've got, so right here, let's add in that missing fifth right there. All right. So because the root 5, and a 5 is always above a 1, right? So 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, and above a 1 there again. So we know that's our big cowboy chord right there. So it stands to reason that since we're way up here, that down here at the octave, there's also a series of do-do. And that one there. Let's see how fast I can do this. Oh, yeah. So you have that, and we know about we're already informed about the rest of that. So what's up next from this one? If I go one here, then I go one on the bottom, I'm going to have this shape right here. I'm going to be back to this C major shape. So here you have this shape here. We have it right here, 1 to 1. See, like for a second, I'm like, okay, here's a whole bunch of frets. Where are my notes? I got to think about it for a second, but I don't, because I just need to go, boom. Here's my G right there. So G, there's my G. Where's your G? G. All right, so then I got to go here and here. So stands to reason. Now what interval is that going to be? If you said 5, that's awesome, because you're right. And then right here. All right. So that being said, now I know basically, even for all intents and purposes, we might as well even highlight the open chords of the G open chord, right? Just going to put yellow now. Now we know that the G is, all right. You're twisting my arm here. Let's make it all correct, so nobody gets confused or lost. So I got my open. And I got a whole bunch of places on the fretboard to find my chord tones if G chord's ringing out. Now, I hit a blue note there. It's one from the pentatonic scale. Let's go to a 4. Here, kind of a 4 is a half step, and that kind of goes away from the chord. We're traveling somewhere, going back to home, home. That's how you take your lines somewhere and come back. Home. Now when I did this, those notes were all on the scale. I did the 1, the 4, and a blue note, which would be after the 5 and 6, 1, 4, 6. But what I did there was play straight up and down. Now that kind of exemplified a C chord. So if I played that at first to kind of go away, I'm pretty far away because I've just outlined a different chord than what's playing. Sounds good because all those notes are in a scale and they are a team together as a chord making up the C chord, but they need to resolve. Cool. And when you just, so now you've got, this is a tool, a palette to play with, because once you start nailing the tones that you need for the chord, then the outside notes start making more sense. And you've basically got 4, like we talked about in our last lesson that you should go watch. You've got 4 outside tones that are found in the, when you fit these into whatever scale they're coming from, major scale, or for those who kind of get it, these could be, you can find major chords in 3 different spots in a major scale. You can find a major chord at the 1, the major scale, a major scale at the 4, which would be a Lydian chord, and you can have a major scale at the 5 where you're invoking Mixolydians. Invoking would have been a better word. So invoking Lydian, invoking Mixolydian at the 4 and the 5. So depending on which scale you use, the natural major, the Mixolydian, or the Lydian, or Lydian or Mixolydian, you'll get 4 other notes. 2 of those notes will be half steps. 2 of those notes will be whole steps. So the whole steps with major, the whole steps generally tend to be the friendliest tones to step around. The half steps really take you away and come back. And then the outside notes, there's 5 outside notes, and those can lead you to other chords, is what you should do with those, or just use them as a colorful little blip, which they tend to work because you're now solidly outlining the chord tones, which could theoretically quickly get boring, even though they're the most perfect notes that are going to go over that chord. They'll sound like you know what you're doing, but you could also get boring really quick. So the stepping notes, organizing on the stepping notes is your first way to sound like you really know what you're doing. Works because now you're really bringing out different ideas, but you can bring all those ideas back home. If you can bring those ideas back home, you can use any note as basically a great way to sum it all up. As long as you can bring everybody home, you can travel anywhere. As long as you can bring people back home, right? Kind of makes sense, you know? You're not limited to go any places in town. You can go to the good parts of town and the bad parts of town, right? As long as you can get back home. If you don't get home, if you get stuck, things aren't as good. All right, so enough of the weird analogies. So let's go to caged. How does this fit into caged? Well, we always kind of started getting it here when we added in the extra roots. Basically, just knowing where all the roots are kind of gets you to caged. Like here is basically the E shape of caged. This is the A shape of caged, right? And this is the C. C, A. Oh, there's the G right here, G. Or it's a hard one to finger. I'd never liked this chord because I can either get the top or the bottom. I just tend to think about that in lines more than chords. I'd rather just grab this shape or just this. Much easier and better sounding with as an accompaniment instrument, because these big chords, these big cage-shaped chords, to me are something more for like an acoustic guitar that's going to be more of a solo instrument and be around a campfire making its own sound. It's trying to be the bass, and I've said this a million times before, so for those of you who watch my lesson will know that. So anyways, so yeah, so all you need to know is this, where the thirds are as well. So just be the farthest note away from your root, and the triad is also going to get you to the minor chord. And once you start fooling around with that a little bit, all of a sudden these shapes go click, and you don't have to use this as like a thinking tool anymore. It's just like they're just training wheels. These little methods I show you are training wheels to get these things all masterminded, making you an awesome guitarist. So minor, major. A sharp. Uh-oh, I ended on a blue note. I got sonically lost there in the middle of my lesson. How terrible. It's a 6. I'm up right. That note is right here that I'm playing, which would be a blue note. Well, I've been jamming around on, I moved everything down a fret, so I was on F sharp. Let's go back to G. We'll wait for that garbage truck to go by. So there's a nice blue note. All right, let's consider the major scale that we're in. It would be a much longer lesson if I showed you Lydian or Mixolydian. But you know what? Since we went, we kind of did that on my last lesson when we basically showed you the shape that's around this chord. As a matter of fact, yeah, I guess I'll do that. So much for planning a lesson and thinking about, I got to think about where I'm going in front of you guys, but I guess let's consider major. If I don't, the trouble is I'm going to have to I'll have to, well, I got another fretboard here if I want to make a whole nother, maybe we'll do Lydian too. I don't know. Here we go, major scale. So this shape here is like my secret sauce for the major scale. If I want to know like this shape, so let's say we're in G major now. Our song is in G major. But we're going to go to two other chords. We're going to go to, let's say, we're going to throw a minor chord in there. So we'll have an E minor. So we're going through a 1, 6, 4, 2. I don't know. Is that going to sound good? 1, 6, 4, 2, 1. That's not the 4. The 4 in G is a brain fart here terribly. It's not a. It's your E minor. It's your. Geez, boy, am I an idiot. It's 4 in G. C, because you know why? The 4 is always underneath whatever note you're on. So if you're on a G chord, root on the 6th string, down at the 3rd fret, the C is right below it. That's my 4. Hot doughy. So what do I want here? So that was 1, 6, 4, 2, 1. Cool. 1, 6, 4, 2, 1. Sounds like a good progression. It's basically 1, 6, 4, 2, and then it repeats. All right, so that's my progression. I'm going to need to know a whole bunch of chord tones really fast, and so I'm going to I'm going to use this area right here where the plus sign is. So this is going to be my 1. Therefore, like we just discussed, the 4 is going to be here. My 5 is always above the 1. That gives me a basically 3, 6, 2, and as you can see, we have an octave pattern. It's always 3, 6, 2 is the next, just like it's 5, 1, 4 over here. It just always thinks 3, 6, 2. There's 3, there's your octave shape. So just above it's going to be your 6. Whoa. And your 2. All right, 3, 6, 2. Oh yeah, even the dog likes it. So we know that those are our chord shapes. Okay, so we're talking about filling this in to the major scale. You can already see the major scale filling in right here. So this must be the 7, right? 5, there's the 6. All right, 7 is going to be over here because 7, 1, 3, 4 always make a square unless you're on this string set where the 4 is over here. But anyways, so 7, 1. Here's what I'm talking about here. 7, 1, 3, 4. That's always easy. There's your navigation square that you should be familiar with if you've watched 1 minute of my other lessons. Well, not 1 minute. They're all pretty long. And the 5th. All right. So there's our scale shape. You can see what's known or what's many times called the Phrygian shape because Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian is the 3rd note. The 3rd, sorry. The 3rd note of the scale. So, like, for example, we're in G, so there's the 1, there's the 2, there's the 3, and then the, let's put a 2 there. And then the 3, so. See, I went away. Then I need to just kind of want you to be thinking about G again. So I went 5, 3, 1. What's a great way to get back home? Nail all the chord tones. Nail each one of them. I even went 3, 4. There's 2 chord tones. But anyways. So, then you can see here really quickly how this goes into the major scale, And then you can sort out your blue notes from your yellow notes. All your half step notes are going to be your blue notes, right? Now we use that blue today. And your yellow notes are in this way. Let's do the, so let's, since we're on blue, it's going to be easier to go to nail our blue tones. So any 2 or 6 is a blue stepping stone. And there's 2 of them in every scale. And then there's 2 7s and 2 4s. So let's identify those. So our 6 is always above our 2, as per the rules. And yeah, cool. There's our blue notes, and our half steps are going to be yellow. So we want our yellow half steps. And actually, let's make our half steps like a different color. Let's go with like a that color. Yeah. So we're going to keep that blue. And then we got to get our cursor over here, and then from there, we're going to make our half steps their own color. Let's go with like an orange. How about that? That's a good color for those. All right, so then we go here and here. 7 and 4 are our color tones. Whoa, what are you doing? Okay, why did our colors just disappear? That's crazy. What the hell just happened to that square? I don't know. That was weird. I'm gonna say it's something weird. All right, so anyways, sorry about that. And there. All right. And we'll just kind of go around the scale a little bit here and here. Oh, that's a green note, huh? Because that's in the chord, it's a 5. All right, what's the 3? The 3 is in the chord, right? So our chord tones, other than the 1, are yellow. All right, so you can kind of like, you know, color map where you need to be. So blue, ended on the 5, ended on the 1. I'm really far away on the 4, gonna go back to the 3, gonna go far away with the 7, and go to the 1. Now, to me, that didn't sound as great as it could. Maybe I would choose a blue note there. That sounded a little better to me, to kind of, to go from an orange note. I'm on the 4 here. I mean, trying to stay, you know, make something relevant, a line relevant to G. Pretty far away. Oh, sorry. Pretty tense and far. Orange note, but in the scale. It's a home tone, but I'd rather resolve to the 1. Now, if I go to orange again right here, it will resolve to 1, but coming from a yellow to an orange, or you're just, I've been too far away from home to kind of, it's a kind of a leap to get back home. I might want to go 4, 3, and then this blue note to the 1. Let's see how that sounds. Little nicer, right? Thank you. You're welcome. So there's that. Cool. You can hear these, you know, start associating the colors of these tones. Now that's, let's take this into Lydian and Mixolydian, and then I'm going to show you a pattern up this scale. We already know how to, you know, if we suddenly were, if our chord for some reason goes to minor. One other thing I'd like to mention too is, you know, using the bottom 3 strings for your triads. You can see once you learn these that this is the shape for the bottom 3 strings, and it's not something you have to separately learn. This is the point of this. You don't learn this as like more information that you're trying to suddenly, recall. It doesn't work like that. Just use this as a built-up version of what you already know. This is the other part of my, why is that fretboard's tight up here? My fingers are fat. So so you would have this. If you've ever heard the song Sheep from Pink Floyd on the Animals album, there's all this little riff at the very end of that song, this little triad run. It's all these triad shapes are all they use. It's really cool to when you get those organized, and if you analyze it, you can see the song is just, it sounds like it goes how does that song go? It goes E. Something like that at the end. All that, if you analyze that, you'll go, oh my gosh, all I'm hearing is D, E, D, E, D, E. There's an A in there at some point. I think that's the, oh, that's it at the end. And yeah, I want to sit there and riff around on that. It's a really cool part. Maybe you like that song. I'm sure that really sparked your interest. If you don't know the song, maybe you're interested in it. And if you hate that song, well, I'm sorry. All right. So, what if we wanted to think like about these triads in terms of Lydian and be a Lydiot? Well, okay, here we go. Let's get a new grid going here. And I have to quickly build a fretboard here, which I should have done. So let's go, we want to draw a line, right? What's our line style? We don't want a thin line. Well, I want a thick line right here. And I'm going to draw a line that's, I think, right about perfect. Should be right here. It's right on, actually 10 should do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy. Now, I got to go to, this is how we get across the fretboard really fast. I'm going to actually use fill in the dots. So there's 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and 9th fret, and now the 12th fret. We go down here. Oops, I fudged that up. We skip 2 frets, and we go on the line there. Luckily, this is nice and forgiving. It makes me these just about where I want them. All right, so I go here, and then I skip 2 frets again, and I just do the same 4 markers, 1 fret apart. Oh, we got one a little crooked there, and I'm OCD like that, so I'm just going to do that again. Whoa. And there. Now, if I make my second boom, boom there, now I quickly have a 24 fret fretboard much faster. Oops, that was messed up. All right, cool. And let's go back to lines. We're going to go here, and we're going to go line style. We're going to choose medium line. And we're going to go like this. Bam, boom. All right, yeah. And I'm going to go down here. And I'm going to go across here. And you can see how quickly you can kind of make one of these fretboards by doing the dots first. All right, so let's go to, how are we going to do this? How do we get back to my pointer? Yeah, how do I do that? Do I go to no border? Yeah, I guess so. But that was kind of dumb because now it just messed up the border there. And I'm OCD like that, so we're just going to go back and go to line color. We got the line color we need. We need a there, and we're going to go like that. Oh, yeah. Now, I'll put my cursor there, and I guess we'll go to no border. and I get the plus sign back, so I guess that's what I wanted. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to make a capital E. Let's go A, D, G, B, and lowercase e for the high string. Pretty cool, right? All right. So that being said, let's do these G triad. We'll try G again, right? So what do? We got to find our G string here, and find a G string. Oh, weird. All right. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here. Bam. Oops. We don't want that. I do want my square over here. Whoa, this. Oh yeah. All right. There's a G note here. We're gonna need some yellowish there. Whoa, this. Damn. All right. So remember to move the square first before I change colors. And what I'm going to do is, oh my god, I'm going to just use yellow, because that's going to be, we know where the roots are, right? So we're just going to use yellow, and we can make this fast, yellow, and we know we got a shape here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And so like basically our E, what comes after E in cage, G, C, A, G, E, D. Sorry, there's our D shape is down there somewhere. All right, and then we got our C shape here. Oh yeah. All right. And here, so let me just do it like I taught you first time. So here's our basically, let's say we started with this shape, our wall, and on this side we have our angular shape. So we'll call that. So now we know our three triad shapes. Now we know them at the, now we know the octave 2. We're gonna put one here and one here, and we filled up our fretboard with these shapes. Now I'm going to add in the rest of the chord tones. So I know this is part of that big cowboy chord, so I'm going to go enter in this shape and then this shape, and right here we've got a chord. There's my D shape, so basically my E shape, D shape. Here's my C chord is here, C open. Here's the A chord right here for A. Then the G is going to be signified with this guy and this guy. You can see the shape of an open G chord there. Imagining these are the open strings, obviously you know that, hopefully. G, A, and so on and so forth, so we know the rest there. All right. Okay, so that being said, yeah. Now we know that there's a third, not the 2, there's a 3 right there. We can add that note in just to kind of fill out our fretboard here with our chord tones of the moment. And in theory, that's a chord tone 2. And you can see our 1 major third, 2 a fifth. How does that work? 1 flat 2, 2 flat 3, 3 major third, 4th flat 5th, 5th. Not hard to know those intervals. As a matter of fact, you should even make an interval chart for yourself at some point. Sorry for the tangents here, but we're going 1. We'll go B2, 2, B3, 3, 4, B5, 5, 5 with a plus sign. Can we manage that? Sharp, whoops, sharp 5. Then 6 and B7, 7, whoops, and back to the root. All right. Should be 13 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the 13th note is your octave. Boom. Okay. So, just so if intervals are confusing the beginners, we had to do that. And, the E string is always the same, so we can even, just for transparency's sake, I guess is what we'll say, we're going to fill out all our notes there. Okay, cool. And we've got one more to do here. Probably got one more somewhere, but I don't think we... There's your chord shapes. What do we want Lydian? What if I want to be a Lydiot? Okay, so I'm going to think about my my one chord here. All right. Here's my root for my chord, but I'm not going to fill that in because I know that I know this as well. I know my notes on my fretboard. Okay. Basically, my one chord, where this would normally be a one chord, a G major chord, so we know that this is the one right here, let's say. Well, instead, this is going to needs to be, what's Lydian? Lydian is the fourth on the scale. Okay, let's just, let's start right here. We'll go Ionian. All right, let's go to, for 2, we have Dorian. Am I even on the page here? I'm freaking not, damn it. All right, do I have enough room to do that? No. I think I can do that. I think I can fit it here, yeah. Ionian. All right. Dorian. Yeah. This is cool how that's smart enough to know to go straight down. Lydian. Oh, yeah. Mixolydian. Aeolian. And Locrian, based on the 7th chord, and that's the one everybody always leaves out because the flat 7 chord, just think about it for your rock and roll mentality as a chord that leads into the 1. That's kind of where rock leaves it. It's a lot more information on that chord for jazz. We ain't going there today. I couldn't even probably go there if I tried. I mean, I can go there a little bit, but yeah. So this is like the order. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sorry, they ended up not going on the page here. Let me see if I can, maybe I can adjust that. Hold on a second here. And I don't think this moves side to side. You know what? It'll move that way, but it won't move this way. Damn it. Okay, excuse my language. Anyways, you kind of get the idea there. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my screen as well as I should have been. Let's see for, yeah, I'm not messing with OBS right now. It'll screw everything up. Okay, so Lydian is the 4th. So we have, we basically have 1. Here we are on my, I got the plus sign again. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, Lydian. It's our 4 chord. Here's what we need to simply know to map out. We need a scale plastered in our minds. Quick. This is so easy. It's not even funny. People make this, like, over-theorize this. If you're watching that other guy's channel that's always got a $30 book he wants to sell you, yeah, because he needs to make it a big deal so you buy into the fact that this is all so overly complicated, and when it really isn't. So right here's the secret. 4 chords right there. Let's draw a line there and a line there. Or sorry, 4 notes there. And sorry I cut down on a guy. I'm not going to mention any names, so if you don't know who I'm talking about, awesome. But if you do get my gist, it's got far and beyond the content my channel will ever have. He's got interviews with name brands. Stars are going into his basement studio there in Atlanta. How this song is made, really good, like, in-depth talks on his interpretations of what makes this song work, kind of thing. Great content. I mean, we couldn't knock that if I tried. So, you know, I mean, just kind of put myself in context here, police myself a little bit, but as you see here, we're not about over theorizing anything. So, here's a secret code here. We basically want to know, I mean, you should know this from my lessons here. So we all want to be in here, and I want to go 7, 1, 4, 3. Boom. 7, 1, 3, 4. There, these are the notes found on your fretboard where like if I got a let's say I'm playing a C chord right here. Where's my scale going to start here? Well, I know where the rest of my notes are in my scale because my 2 is always here. There's a little wall of notes on each side. My 5 is always there. My 6 is always here. And my duplicate 2 is always there. And oh my God, so we want to go like that. Why is that not moving? Let's just go here. Why is that not moving? That's crazy. 2, and then we want to go here. I want to backspace, and I want to go 2, and I want to go here. Why did that do that? That's crazy. Something weird's going on here. You know, there's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a what? Oh, that was lyrics, sorry. Old guy lyrics. Why won't this? Jeez, Lord. Well, that wasn't as easy as the other. So there's basically my scale pattern that repeats itself all over the fretboard. There's a box. It's found in the Dorian scale, in the Phrygian scale, and in Aeolian. Anytime there's a half step, you're in the box. Anytime I find that box, I know what scale shape I'm in. If I've got a box up on the 6th string, 7, 1, 3, 4, I'm in the Aeolian shape. If I get my box over here, I'm in the Dorian shape. And if I got a box down here, I got a box up here, and that's my noodling around scales, not what we're trying to accomplish here. So let's say you say, okay, Mark, I got it. Those are my scale shapes. So I need my 4 on my root note of my chord. If I was playing in, here's the secret, if I'm playing in major, if I want that in my 1 chord, this major chord that we're playing here, it's a G. I want it to be a 1. I'd put my root note here, which I guess we'll make green for clarity's sake. And we should probably do that everywhere. Bum, bam, bum, bam. All right. Whoa. So I'm going to put that square, that 4 is where I'm going to, that's where it informs me of where I'm going to build my scale. Once I know where that square is, I know where every shape is, like I just showed you on the fretboard. So for in fact, this would be a, even though that's the 1, 3, 5 of the chord, now if you're thinking scales, this is the 4. So this would be the 7, 1, 3, and 4 if you're watching the plus sign on the screen there. It might be kind of tiny. Hopefully you're not watching this on a phone, which I always tend to do, watch my lessons on a phone. 7, 1, 3, 4. If that was my scale, and why did we get a green note up there? All right. There, now this is going to be a Lydian chord. And thinking about something here. Yes, that is what I wanted to hear. So the now this 4 is the 1 of the chord. So you kind of are you don't need to kind of showing you this parents. This is the parent scale where the 1 is. That would normally be the green note because it's always the 1, the do re mi fa sol la ti do of the major scale. But we're not playing on do. We're playing on the 4, our major chord built off the 4. This 4 is always major. Is now the 1. So it's kind of actually changed that, and so that your thinking should actually be, but this is where your parent scale is. So there's 2 notes here and 2 notes here, and so on and so forth. So and these would be like your and then informs where your steps are. So this is going to be actually now the 2. So let's make that the delete and 1. This is going to be the delete. This is going to be the 7. And this is going to be your 5, because 5 is always above a 1. So that must mean that there is a flat 5 in here. So what we're going to do instead of flat 5, though, so there isn't 2 5s in the scale. And this is kind of a neat little bit of this lesson. You can kind of see why suddenly intervals will change. Like you say, there's no sharp 4, but the reason that you sometimes will see sharp 4 is for reasons like this. When you're trying to theorize a scale and you need, the series of numbers that are legitimately following each other, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, flat 5, 5. It's the same thing, but it just kind of, people like to make it more numerically cohesive. Ooh, numerically cohesive. All right, pretty big words I'm thinking of. So basically, I would call this a. Now, is that right? Did I just screw something up here? I almost think I did. So that's going to be my. This is going to be my 2. And because you know what's weird? Why am I thinking that there's in the major, there's 1, 2, 3, sharp 4. Yeah. Lydian is a sharp 4. I was thinking like 2 for some reason, like that's the special Lydian note. As you can see, basically the scale moves to that sharp 4 because it's just the natural, what falls into the construction of the scales, where to me is, I don't think about it as knowing all these, approaching it from all these complex intervallic things. I just kind of know that now because I've experimented with it for so much, but I know it by its construction, right? I just know the note is here, right? And that special note is not where usually in a scale there would be a note right under the 1, but that's not how Lydian works. In this, you're putting your major scale right here, your major chord right here, then you get this note, which is a sharp 4. So anyways, we'll put that there again, sharp, oops, backspace, sharp 4. All right, and then our 5, and our 6. And so let's just, instead of me coloring it in, I think it's going to be easier for me to do some intervals here. So we've got our 3rd, before a 7 is a 6, right? Whoa. See all right, I see how that works now. Well, that's kind of a pain in the butt. God Lord. 6. So whenever I go to putting a number in here, I kind of lose the cursor here, which is a pain in the butt. So there's going to be a 1. And, so on and so forth. On this side of the 1, it's going to be a sharp 4 again. It's going to be a 5 because it's in our box area there. Whoa. Whoa. I got a watch fart. Probably telling me to get a drink, which I am kind of thirsty. All right. So, should I have this right here? I'm pretty sure I do. And this should be our Well, this is going to be our 4, 5, 6, and a 3, 4, 5. We are on a G. So our G is the 1 right there. So 1. It's going to be our 2. Oops. This will be our 3. 3, 4, 5. So like right here, once again, is our sharp 4. This is going to be our 5. Whoops. Switching between that's slow and cumbersome and kind of a pain. But anyways, so you can kind of see what's going on here and how I just screwed that up there because I didn't account for the shift in the pattern here. So sorry, duh. That's what you should have said. Yelled through your screen and said, "What is this idiot doing? Isn't that a chord tone? How can he teach us this wrong stuff?" Right? That's a 3. So then this is going to be our sharp. That's not going to be a note at all. This is going to be our sharp 4. And then therefore this is going to be our 5. All right. And that can't not be oh my god, I just screw everything up because I just confused. I'm thinking 1, 3, 5 for our chord, but in our scale that's going to be 1. That's going to be the second note. I honest to God, I screwed something majorly up here. That should be our 2 because it's always 3, 6, 2. Like we said, we're in G. G is the 1. Oh my God, what have I done here? So 2, then 3. That's where we screwed up. So now this is the 3rd. That's the 5th. Duh, right? And then that would be the. So this would be the sharp 4th. Now, stupid me, kind of really, just really dumb on my part because I should have just known. Right here is I'm creating that Phrygian shape again that we talked about earlier. That where you see the 7 is where I'm starting. So there's our square. The wall on the other side. Square. Square. On the 4th and 5th fret of the A and the D string, and the 2 and the 3 fret of the, and as you can see that right here, the 2 and the 3 fret of the B and E string, of the B and E string as an airplane goes by. All right, so yeah, all right, we already have the 3 there. And as is above, so is below. So that's easily a 7. That's easily a 1. Boom. That must be, therefore, a 2. So we got our scale shape right there to start with. Like, once I know that scale shape is there, I know then, basically where everything else is. We're going to be... Now, where's my 1 going to be? Well, you say, Mark, it's right there. Well, that's my 1 if I'm trying to conceptualize this as the 4 chord. I'm just trying to show you, here's your 1, and you know that the Lydian scale's got that sharp 4, and there it is. So there's that kind of weird tone there. Let's play it with the chord. Put that note in there instead of the 3rd and hear how it sounds. Maybe not together because there's a little bit of there's some great amount of tension in between this 4 and 5 since they're only a tone apart, right? So it's kind of a hard interval to hear together as a chord in unison, but picked separately, there's that haunting sound suddenly. So just the root, 5, 4, sharp 4 actually. And that signifies that that is a Lydian chord because that's the only way, that's the only 4 chord, I'm sorry, that's the only major chord that's going to have that sharp 4 in the scale as a natural note selected from the scale. It only, by the way of the patterns, for those who are like brand new and just don't know where do these notes come from, they're just out of the patterns. It's just naturally these patterns do weird things with these chords that are found in them. So like the 4 does this, and that's where these scales get their special names. And someone will say, "Oh, it's got that sharp 4 interval. It's this." Like I said, I don't really got to think about that. I'm just trying to illustrate it here for where it comes from and why, and so you can hear it as well. So that being said, let's say I wanted my 1. Well, I'd have to just change a whole lot of numbers here, but suddenly that's my 1. What I'd have to know is the lesson we went over yesterday. So I know that this that I did my filled everything in out of my Phrygian shape. Just real quick before I continue what I'm saying, like let's go up and down the fretboard with this. I don't need to know anything else. I don't need to fill out any of them squares because I already know the secret tricks to this are just connect your square. So oh, here we are, sorry. Sorry. So at an angle down here, and when I play that broken box, if you watch my other lessons, you'll know what that broken box is without me having to spell it out here. I'm in Aeolian, and you can hear that. That's why that note sounds so sweet, because that's that Lydian note, because we're still thinking. I know my scale shape right there because I know where the boxes are. I'm at this box, I'm in Aeolian. Go like this. And I got a box right there because just putting a little chord shape there, same triad shape, gets me right into that box. Not exactly, but oh, my bad. Sorry, it's I screwed up one of the notes. But anyways, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Phrygian shape up to Aeolian shape. Half step bend, because I'm in the square. Half step bend. Back to the root of the, we kind of made our way back to G or D there because I kind of worked my way down the scale, and as I was noodling around, suddenly the ear picked up a scale and it went to the 1 of that scale, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, which was D. Because if D is the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, G4 is where we started on Lydian chord. Okay, playing catering to that chord so that we can see that you could start highlighting your what do you think these chords how do you like these tones, like for example sorry This is probably going to be your tastiest note, so I'd almost put like a unique color for my 4. Oh, here's my color chart. And let's go to, let's make that our purple note. Whoops. Let's not make that one a purple note. We'll go back to white on that one. Which actually, that was a yellow note, right? Pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, and green clovers. Part of this complete lesson. Boom. So our sharp 4, we can make that our purpley note. That note is purple. We never changed this here, so this would be a 5. This would be a 6. And we're at a 7-1 again. Whoa. Of our chord and of our Lydian scale, actually, this is another way of, we could number it as the parent scale, but that's not really appropriate here since we're just kind of thinking in Lydian at the moment. But this would be more something you'd want to do if this was like just a static Lydian vamp that you could find on YouTube to really get this sound under your skin. But I find like modal vamps are cool, but they kind of get a little bit boring quick. They're a little bit one-dimensional, There's a little bit of cool flavor to them, but they're not as cool as maybe like a Lydian progression, and then playing lines that follow the progression by following your chord tones. So we still got another thing to show you. So let me get through this on expedite here. So I got my 4. I got a couple 4s kind of laid out here. So here's the one I'm thinking about at the moment. Maybe I'll be up here. So I don't know. So what I'm trying to figure out here is, the 2, the 6, and the 7. What are those kind of colors to my ear? We already know the 3 and the 5 are going to be our basically interchangeable chord tones, give or take. 5 is going to be a little bit of, definitely always going to be a stronger landing tone or ending of a phrase than the 3, but the 3 still at times works to end a phrase. Cool, it's a chord tone. So we've got our stepping tones here. Well, this is a half step, and we've only got our special taster note is here's a half step to the 5. So now, that's what I was looking for there. I wanted to bend into this special note, so I'm using the 3rd as a bendy note to make a whole step bend into that 4th. Now, normally there would be a normal 4. As you can see, it sounds kind of normal. Now it sounds kind of plain. But now we're going to go. So going from a chord tone, bending into the purple note is an awesome little thing. So let's hear, how does the rest of them. So once again, your 6 and your 2 are your standard stepping stone notes. And if we fill those in, we'll see a pentatonic scale develop, I'm pretty sure. Let's check it out. We'll put a light, those a light blue. Let's give our 7 that light blue. How about that? Since that just showed up, why don't we do that? All right. And we're going to go here. Whoa, damn it. All right. Okay. I don't like this teacher. He's got too much swearing in his videos. Sorry if you're trying to watch this and you got people worried about that kind of stuff. All right. Or maybe you do. I'm sorry, but that is not something I worry too much about. And now that I said that, I've cursed my lesson here because I'm trying to kind of get a more identifiable color than that. Why don't we go for like a gray? I guess we'll do that. These are kind of neutral notes per se. So these are kind of like these are identify your scale, but they'll definitely work as neutral notes. And on and on. So now we have a whole scale filled out with an idea if we were jamming in Lydian. That one bad. I played 2 gray notes together. It just didn't really sound good. You want to kind of do a step into two, 1, 6, 5, 3. Anyways, one of these times I'll also hook up a looper so I could pretty much put a loop in here. I'm tempted to turn on, that would take forever though. I could turn on Studio One, record a chord really quick, and oh my god, I guess I'm going to try to do it here. This is going to probably screw everything up really fast, but it's kind of working. So we're just loading up Studio One, starting external device support, and it found my Spark amp. Okay, the positive grid device could not be initialized. You know what, that's probably going to screw up my lesson here, because all right, let's just cancel this and get the hell out of there. That's not going to work. All right, let's just go no. Sorry folks, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, and I just I don't think that's going to work. Let me just try something here. This is just for future lessons. And you guys bear with me while I draw out your lesson here with non-lesson related information. I'm going to hit new song. Come on, brother. I find Studio One kind of, you know, it's pretty good, but I'm going to get annoyed real fast with it. If I go to here and just put, oh, so let's go to, sorry, add tracks. Let me just go here and go to audio, add in AL tracks. Let's go to track, a stereo track. Let's hit record here. You know what? I can't hit record because it does not have any input source listed. So, yeah, and I'm just going to get the hell out of here. I'll put a looper pedal in my chain of effects, and that's going to be way easier than trying to run Studio One. Do I want to save my changes? No, just quit this program, please. See you later, Studio One. Changes. Back to business. So that didn't work. I'll put in, I'm going to put up a looper pedal, and we'll do another lesson later. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with today, let's just say we got that. Now you can do Mixolydian on your own. See this 5 right here? Oh, sorry. Yeah. See this 5 right here? My cursor should be, come on, cursor. Curse the cursor. Right here, right now. For those of you that are not exactly seeing this, let's just go right here. Whoa, that was weird. Whoa, all right. I should have been draw a border line, but all right. So, that right there, the 5, you'd put the 5 over there, so that would shift the square of notes down, and you know, then this would be like. If I'm doing the 5, in theory, I could play this D shape because I'm thinking of my jazz 7 chord, which is a variation of this cowboy chord, but you're just eliminating that 5 and just forgetting about it and just fingering the bottom of the chord like a D shape with your other fingers here, and this one gets the root. That gets me away from the square a little bit. Here's my 1, and that's where the 5 is in the scale. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chord. 1, 2, 3. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not what we're looking at here on the screen. That's our Lydian. All right, but let's get out of there and go to a new sheet. And that thing we went over in the beginning. So let's now go over that. We're done with scale shapes and pentatonics. And by the way, hold on a second here. So pentatonics, you know, you would have your, you can draw a pentatonic out of there. You could use the 3, the 5, the 7, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, 6, 1, and 2. So you could have a Lydian pentatonic there. You'd almost want to use the purple note as a blue note for that pentatonic scale, because as it is, as you see, if I went 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1 as my pentatonic scale, I'd be missing that. A pentatonic doesn't have a half step in it. So I'll always be missing my Lydian, my kind of tasty Lydian note. If I wanted to stay off that for some reason, then I would go pentatonic. If I want to put that in, I'm going to think scale-wise. All right, so that was the last thing I wanted to say on that. Getting over to a 4, 5, 1. So the thing that's hard to kind of conceptualize on that is that there's overlapping notes in a 4 or 5, 1. You got FAC, GBD, and CEG. So if you just heard FAC, there's a C in the C chord, obviously. In the GBD, there's the G of the C chord. The C chord basically shares its root and fifth with the other scale tones. So that being said, it gets kind of funky here to draw us, but this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to say that, okay, let's draw a border grid real fast. We're going to make a quick scale like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go, whoa's this? You know what though? I gotta start again. Hold on. And we're gonna change our line style back to a kind of smaller one here. And we're gonna go like this. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got an app telling me I got some work I could be doing, making money, but who wants to make money, right? All right, let's just kind of say 24 frets, somewhere like that. We gotta get quick here. So our one chord, our G is gonna, we know is gonna be here. So I want 4, 5. This is what we're doing. This one here. 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1 on octave higher than where we started. So that being said, well, that's F major. We're just in the key of C, so it's easy. F is the 4, G is the 5, C is the 1. F, G, C. F, C. F, G, C. F, G, C. All right, so how do we conceptualize that? Well, we're going to use our notes that we just went over here. So let's fill in some, good Lord, let's fill in some blanks here. And we're going to go here, and I guess I'll use what? We'll use that gray for the C. For the C. I don't know, C. Let's kind of just do, yeah, let's do this. This is going to be a little tricky because we got to change a lot of colors here. So let me go here and go here and here. Okay, so there is our, we're starting with G there. Now, just kind of for shits and giggles because it's there. And in theory, there would be a, because there's a, oh, I'm sorry, that's a, yeah, G. We need a C, and the C is going to be here from C to shine in C. So I just kind of want to go, I'm going to use a letter for C. I'm going to go C, C, I'm sorry, C. Okay, how should I do this? Because that's technically the G, C, G, C, E, G. So that would be the E right there, right? Because octave to octave, yeah. And so I guess that's how we'll do. We'll just kind of all, that'll keep us out of hot water here. So here, let's make our F. F to me is kind of like a red chord, right? So, oops, we're going red. So let's go F. So let me, since we're on one color here, let me get all the Fs done and set here. So then we know that by octave, we got F, 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 and I think that I just totally screwed that up. I did. Yeah, so my bad, my bad, my bad. Got it bad, got it bad. You know, we can just use backspace to make that easy. All right, we're just going to scrap that method here, and we're going to make our G, it's going to be, I guess we'll make that blue. Yeah, but let's get it on a good tone here. So, yeah, we want to be right here. C, D, G, B, D. So we've got, we're gonna do that as blue. G, B, whoa. All right. And then, so from here, we're going to go C. What's the fifth of C? G, right? And the G is the 1 there. And then we're going to go here, we're going to go E. C, E, G. And then we're going to go, we need our F chord. And so the octave says we're going to be here. Color is going to be red. And so we better go here. And like we said, the 1 is also found in the, so why don't we, it's going to be a way to make this a little bit quicker. Now, here's something to know. The 4 and the 5 are always the same chord, slid up a whole step. It's F to G. It's the, you know, whole step apart, right? And this is a 1, 4, 5. C is the 1, F is the 4, and G is the 5. I think we've already went over that. So we could theoretically go here, and then we want to use our Icelandic blue color. Is that the color we were using? That's the color we were using. Kind of ugly clashing colors there, but I guess for enunciation's sake, or I guess attention, I don't know. That was my bad, so let's go back, and gotta go here, and go there. This is our pattern. So after that pattern, we've got the 1 turns into, you can always think your 1 goes back to this shape here. So let's just kind of keep going here. Let's skip the 1, and I don't know. I guess we won't. So that's G, and G is on the bottom here. So we know that G is in our C chord, so we're going to type in a G there. We're going to go down here, and we're going to type in we're C, E, G. We're on E. So that's our 5, that's our 3rd, then that's our 1. So C, E, G. And now we need a, we know that's going to be in our F chord right there. There's a, weird how I gotta do that just to get back, but C, E, G, so there's C, and then red, whoops. You know what would really help too is if I put the dots on this fretboard, because then this will make, I think, a little bit more sense, because we should be at the here, 5, F, 1, 4, 5, C, E, G, then yep, this is 11, or I'm sorry, 10, 12. And you can see the octave pattern we went over, like just looking at the blue here, there's that, you know, it's exactly what we just went over, the G, then this shape for the G, and then we're going to have on the 12th fret, our straight up and down. And we want to change that back to blue. Whoops. All right. And we'll probably need our G in there to signify our G chord. I'm sorry, our C chord. And where's our C chord going to be? Well, if that's the 5, that's going to be the 1. And, you know, and what shape do we need here? Well, we've already used this shape for C, and the straight up and down, the angle. So what comes after that is that weird upside down D minor shape we talked about, for lack of a better term. And we got the C, E, G, so that must be the E. And that being said, now we need our F, because we're at our 1, and that start, we know there's a C and F, so we're going to be right there. Whoops, we're going to be there. Oh yeah. Damn it. Bring that back there and make it red. Make it red, Fred. So now we're back to the octave. And of course we were using green before, but maybe we'll do that too, since that's the 4. I guess that we were going to do that in greens to start with, but we changed it to blue somewhere along the way. Damn it. All right. Cool thing is I didn't actually think there would be a way to get all these get this done just because of the overlap. Because if you try to do a different color there, then it kind of screws the chart up. But then I just realized, okay, I can just put those as letters so you can sort of see those shapes too. But anyway, so we'd have and you can kind of see how it kind of comes to a rest there. Rises up and rests. That's a 5, 1. And now you get to see your 5-1 relationships too. If you're here, you got your 5-1. 5 a lot of times is going to the 1 if you are making a line. As a matter of fact, have you ever heard this line before? Where do you think you got that one? 5, 1. I'm not singing that, but I wish I could, because I think Geddy Lee is awesome. Alex Lifeson, and bless his soul, Neil Peart. Anyways, yeah, Rush will always take my mind away. So 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Whoops, shouldn't know that, you idiot. I just went here, 4, 5, then the C, E, G for 1 on my, and they're all connected to each other. So it's kind of cool. Like it's very easy to find. From here, I just have to go like this. And you've heard that before in a ton of songs. I don't know if that's exactly how that goes. But anyways, that's but anyways, and you've got that up here. 5 to 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1, 5. Now here we're doing 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1. Ah, that's right. It sounds complete because we're back at the C chord, the 1. Now let's go away up to the 4, go away to the 5, and land back on the 1. Wrong. So 4, 5, 1. I went 4, 5, 4. You can see I kept the suspense there by just playing the 4 and the 5s. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Oops, 1. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And I'm going to the 1. You stupid idiot. All right, let me leave you guys with that. It's been enough fun talk here. We'll upload this. I think it was a pretty good lesson. I probably should use some editing, but it won't get any. And let me know if you enjoyed it. We'll go from there. Have a good day. Triads. Have them as part of a complete breakfast because they're always very nutritious for your daily soloing. See it. Oh, I clicked the wrong box. So, bye.